Yo, what's good? How y'all doing? Hopefully y'all doing good. Today I got a pretty solid video for y'all today. We are doing another, wait for it, concept/manga video. Yay! After seeing my homie LXA make his own manga, or at least work towards trying to, I decided to test it out myself with my own original characters, having Kufi and all these other characters that I've made based off of my friends, push them into a verse. So I don't really have that many concept art, especially since this is raw, but I'm going to be using this video to basically explain to you the story in its rawest state, alright? So I want you to bear with me. There are certain, if you have any questions or you're interested about it, do let me know. I love talking about my creations, or just me in general. Without further ado, let's start. So the story itself isn't that complicated. In fact, it's going to work a lot more like Dragon Ball, where there'll be an antagonist set for an arc, and then progressively the characters that are involved will get stronger. So as for the story, we're introduced to two main characters and lots of charming side characters. Each and every one of them will be featured at least once or twice within the manga, but what I mean by that is they'll also have arcs where they're introduced and somehow important. Now, I will say, as someone who loves to write, my writing was never as sound when it came to writing stories, if that makes sense. I don't really struggle with writing essays, but when it comes to story writing, that's a completely different story, if that makes sense. That wasn't even a pun or anything, whatever. So the baseline for side characters, are how I'm trying to write them, is that every one of them will be useful in their own way. They'll be unique. Some personalities may be a little rougher around the edges, but you'll get to identify them pretty easily. Now, I'm going to start talking about something that I'm personally proud of, which is the power system. So the power system and the way it works, the power system is called blessings and jinxes, or JB if you want to shorten it, whatever. A jinx is something that is sort of like a curse, and it's a product of you, something that you made, something that you caused. Essentially, it's like your worst feature to a 10, and slowly but surely it's changing you. These high negative emotions end up kind of like distorting your humanity until you become something worse, almost like a monster in a way. But if you were to beat said transformation, or you're able to resist transforming, you'll end up being gifted with an ability based off of said jinx. So say, hypothetically speaking, you're a loud person, your voice could potentially kill someone, and you'd have to go through different trials and tribulations depending on the circumstances to end up fixing that. Upon beating it, you get some cool voice ability, kind of like Mr. Tsunemeo Inamaki, or you have advanced vocal control. The abilities are birthed by the character. So the prerequisites that I have, which are subject to change, to get jinxed is to physically be aware of your free will, be aware of your existence, because you know how when you're younger you kind of run on autopilot until you kind of quote unquote gain sentience. It's kind of like that. So when you're a child, you're born pure, but as that goes on and you become more conscious of your surroundings and your actions, things change, and from then you get bad habits, and then you have those bad habits that turn into something far more sinister. And it's not like it could your bad habit could be anything, really. As long as it negatively affects you to an extreme degree, you're going to become jinxed. And that jinx will slowly change you. Say you treat others worse than yourself, you're kind of selfish all the time. You may gain an ability that aids others as opposed to yourself. Or if you do the opposite, where you're stuck helping others all the time and you kind of get cursed with that, you might get a priority ability, meaning no matter what, your attacks will land first. Just food for thought. Now, can those that are jinxed gain blessings? Alright, you'll just have to wait and see. Blessings. The way blessings work, essentially, right? As long as you remain pure all throughout your younger years, you did no wrong, you get blessed. It's kind of like, oh, you're a good boy. You said your neck doesn't hurt. I got you. Blessings are canonically OP. You can be gifted with a blessing, and even if on paper the ability seems kind of buns, you can literally do anything with it. Well, not anything. You're obviously limited by the type of ability that you get, but it can extend past what you think it might. What if you become tainted with a blessing? Then your blessing will become a curse, and then they'll be jinxed. And it's a lot harder for you to beat that jinx, considering you were gifted everything, fell hard, and decided to, who knows, maybe you did nothing. The divide between those that are cursed and those that are blessed become an apparent topic that I really want to play around with. I just need to figure out how to write that properly. You know what I'm saying? Would you be interested in reading this manga? Let me know. I don't even know if it's gonna be a manga. Yo, there's so much I gotta figure out before I start working on this for real. I will add fighting styles, and I do have a race concept, but you're gonna have to see that later. I might make a second video just talking about it. But hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to, beat the crap out that like button. Subscribe if you want to hear more. And I'll catch y'all later. Now, let me cook. Thank you for all the support I've been getting recently. Man, I'm happy as hell. And I have a gaming channel. Go check that out. Alright. Deuces twin.